All right, so Rickey Smiley Morning Show. A lot of stuff going on. The time right now is 14 before the top of the hour, y'all. At least 19 children and 2 teachers killed at a Texas school on yesterday, and nobody's saying it, but most of them looked like they was in the Latino community. And then last week, this guy went and shut up the grocery store in Buffalo, was in the black community. It seemed like colored people are under attack. I don't care what race or ethnicity the shooter is. These was black and brown people are in the last 2 mass shootings. Were affected. Shouldn't shoot nobody, no matter what color they are. But we got to turn to Glennon Threatt. Glenn, I talked to you last night. What are your thoughts?
Rickey, this is again one of those situations where there's a tragedy and people are standing around wringing their hands. We've been dealing with these school shootings like this since 1999, really, with the Littleton, Colorado shooting. There were 13 killed in that shooting. Then in 2005, you had 8 killed in Red Lake, Minnesota. Then 2012, Newtown, Connecticut, 26 children were killed. Then Parkland, Florida, 17 dead. 2018, Santa Fe, Texas, 10 dead. And then now 21 dead in ULF, Texas. And this is representing a 52% increase in the number of school shootings since 2020 and a 97% increase since 2017. And it's not just schools, Rickey. It's mass shootings all over the country. People are getting just murdered in gun violence, and it's escalating, and the number of gun sales are going up. We had 19 million guns sold in the United States last year.
Wow. Kay, jump in. You were saying.
Yeah. And over 1 million of those guns are in Texas alone. You got the NRA spending $50 million to back Donald Trump and other Republican Senate candidates back in 2016, and to vote not to expand background checks and other just basic laws that would help prevent some of this. And you got the governor of Texas passing a bill to allow 18-year-olds to carry guns, but they can't buy a bottle of liquor.
On the background check issue, Special K, I had to do a background check to adopt a dog.
Right.
Right. And they've had that legislation there for 2 years and won't vote on it. But the problem, as you've outlined already, is that 77% of the guns used in shootings since 1996 were obtained legally. And so that means that there's a problem with the law that allows a gun to get in the hands of these people. We have more guns than we have citizens in the United States, and the laws are going in the other direction. Alabama just went to open carry this year, and Texas went to what they call a constitutional carry last year, which means basically anybody can carry any kind of gun they want,
no matter what their background is.
And Georgia
they don't
as
even
well.
check their background unless they're felons, or unless they have a domestic violence misdemeanor. That's a federal law. But other than that, there's no one prohibited from carrying a gun.
So what do you think of the politicians? Do you think this might be the one that would get Mitch McConnell or some Republicans talking about passing some kind of gun legislation? What are your thoughts?
I don't, Rickey. I don't think that if they didn't change the laws for 26 white kids in Newton, Connecticut, that they're not going to change it for 19 brown kids in Texas. That's just my feeling on it. I don't think they're going to do it. I think they're tied in financially to the gun lobby, and they're not going to do it. The hope I see is that some of the survivors, the family members of the Sandy Hook shooting, sued Remington Arms and got a $75 million settlement against them. And before, there have always been special legislation that made it illegal to sue gun manufacturers to hold them liable for the damage their product caused. They're the only industry that had a law that was passed specifically to protect them from being sued. And Remington got sued by the family members and got $75 million. And I think that's the only way we're going to get some changes done is when people start hitting the pockets of these gun manufacturers.
And if you watch the speech by Chris Murphy on the Senate floor last night, what he was saying was, why are we here? What are you doing? Why do you run for the Senate just to come up here and not do anything about this issue? And the bottom line is the money from the NRA, when we talk about the NRA backing these senators, if you don't support the NRA as a senator, they will primary you in your next election. They will put a candidate up that will go along with the program, and they will spend a boatload of money to get you out of the Senate. That's why these senators are fighting so hard not to do anything, because they want to hold on to their seat.
Right.
That's correct. Even though, by some estimates, 90% of the citizens of the United States are in favor of background checks. Did y'all see Steve Kerr?
Yeah, we did. We did. I just hope that have some impact, man. It's just affecting everybody. Glennon, thank you so much for joining us this morning. If anybody have any questions for you, let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can reach me on G3 and on Twitter at G3.
There it is. All right, big brother. Thank you, man. Love you, man. Y'all, ladies and gentlemen,
man.
Glennon Threatt, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.